Hello, citizens of the Multiverse. This is your good buddy, Do What You Gotta Do, and today we're going to see what kind of spaces that you can build in here in the Multiverse. We're going to go take a look at the plans and see what's what there, and then we're going to step into each of the different spaces that you can build in. That way you have a good idea of the orientation and the layout. You can build your own cool stuff in one of these spaces. I'm sure you're going to find something that's going to just strike your fancy and make you want to say, ooh, I cannot wait to get in there and build that thing and make that art exhibit and make that space station or whatever you want to do, or that shop where you sell some stuff. Okay, so let's go take a look at those plans right now. So the developers have set up 4 different plans: a basic, premium, business, and enterprise. The basic gives you all you need to get started. It's free. It gives you 0.25 gigabytes of storage for your photos and gives you some basic areas to build in. The premium gives you the ability to add video, which is what I really enjoy. And it is only $8.33 a month, 4 gigabytes. And man, I spend more than that on Netflix. And I don't watch Netflix nearly as much as I'm in this place. Business plan gives you even more spaces, and enterprise lets you customize it with the developers to make exactly what you need.
Okay, so the first space we're going to look at is the entrance lobby. It's a large space. I think if I was selling a product, I would call this my showroom because it's a big area with a lot of space to show people different things. It's got a nice balcony out back that looks like it's looking over South Park, South Beach. Everything you see where there's an image, like those icons on the wall and the big screens and the pedestal and everything with an image on it is editable. You can put whatever you want there. There are 4 of these rooms around the perimeter where they're like little breakout rooms. There's a balcony that wraps completely around this with 3 different seating areas. So there's plenty of space to sit down and have a chat with your friends or your clients. There's 5 doors, pedestal, a big screen. So there's plenty of space to show your products in here. It's a very nice space. The meeting room has an oval table in the center with 8 chairs surrounding it. The chair at the head of the table has got a computer, and behind that a large presentation screen. There are multiple frames for images, and a balcony with 3 seating areas overlooking, you guessed it, South Beach. A great spot to gather some of your employees for a quick meeting before you go into that huge presentation with your client. Other than your apartments, the Terrace is the smallest and most intimate of your spaces in the multiverse. There are 2 doors, a large screen, and seating around a fire pit. Over the balcony, you can see a beautiful island paradise. You can load a video into the large screen and have a movie night with your friends. This is really a great place to hang out and socialize. The lecture hall is ideal for training. There are 12 desks with computers at the center of the room, and additional seating around the perimeter. There's a raised stage for the presenter, and a large screen and a podium where the lecturer can keep his notes. There are 3 doors in the space, and multiple frames for images. Are you ready to teach a class in the multiverse? This is your spot. Are you planning to launch a rocket or take over a small third world country? Or play war games with NORAD? Then the beta control room is for you. It's a futuristic control room with 5 large 32 by 9 screens around the perimeter. It has a central desk hub with 8 chairs around it facing a globe. And then just outside of that are 8 more computer stations with 1 large 32 by 9 screen and 3 smaller 16 by 9 screens. This is the place I'm going to build an awesome space station in. I'm already starting to work on it. That'll be in a future video. I think you're going to be pretty impressed with it if I do say so myself. So come back and take a look at that later. So if you're an artist or a maker and you have something you want to display, show the world, the Round Art Gallery is the place for you. It's got a lot of spaces around the perimeter for you to put your art images and little stanchions where you can write a little background on your art. And if you got the premium account where you can add videos, what I would do is add a little video of yourself talking on that little stanchion. I think that would be cool. So people could hear in the artist's own words their description of their art. Maybe how they came up with the idea or what it's supposed to represent. There's also a raised dais in the center with seats where you can meet and discuss your art with other people. Or maybe have your book club meet up there, talk about books while you look at the art. The round photo gallery is very similar to the round art gallery. It just has a different selection of spaces for you to place your art. The frames around the perimeter wall are more in line with the typical photo dimensions. Again, there are stanchions so that there can be a little blurb about the description of the photograph. And there's the raised dais where you can meet to discuss the photos, or you just have your other book club meet there. The small Obeya room is the first of the spaces available to the premium members. And I've got to admit that I had to look up what Obeya meant. And Obeya is a Japanese word meaning large room. And it kind of part of that whole Six Sigma mentality of having breakout spaces or areas where you can go to get away from your normal workspace. And I think that it probably has more application in the real world than it does here, because everything in the multiverse is different from where you normally work. But this is another type of meeting room you can use. The large Obeya room is pretty much like the small Obeya room. It has 8 chairs around a central oval table. It just is a larger room. So if you want to stand up and move around inside the room, you have more room to do it in this, the large Obeya room. A lot of big screens around the room, so a lot of places to display ideas and concepts. So another good meeting space inside the multiverse. The waiting room is kind of an interesting space in the virtual environment, because in the real world, it's where you sit and you read magazines while you wait on your doctor to see you. And I guess that can be the same type of situation that you would use it for here. It has a nice balcony for waiting. You get to look over and see South Beach. You got two small frames on one wall and one large screen on the other wall. So, I guess you can watch TV while you're waiting on your appointment to arrive. But if you're the owner of this virtual space, then you might have a receptionist behind the desk letting people into the virtual rooms whenever you have time to see them. It's kind of interesting, but this is a very business oriented space. And we've reached the club room. This is my favorite space. It's a big kind of a party room. There's about 5 doors in here. There's two on either side of the main entry, and then there's two on either side of the main screen at the front of the room. There's seating at the front of the room, so you can watch movies in there, or you can have a small, more intimate session at one of 6 seating areas underneath of the balcony. I'm making my own club in here, so I've got music going, and the party's going to be hopping, and we're just going to be dancing all night long. So bring your virtual dancing shoes and come ready to party. The sunrise lobby is just like the regular lobby. except that you have some improved finishes like brickwork, and you have a view over the balcony of Dubai, which is kind of nice. It's a change for South Beach. But other than that, it's got the same 4 rooms around the perimeter. It's got the wraparound balcony. So the principal difference is just aesthetics. The Sunrise meeting room is just like the regular meeting room, except it has kicked up finishes. It's got brick on the wall. It's got a hardwood floor. At least I think it's hardwood. Could be laminate. I'm not sure. I think there's leather seats around the conference table, but you got your big screen and you have your balcony just as you do with the regular meeting room. But the balcony looks out over Dubai, so you got that going for you. Hopefully the developers will give us a variety of different scenes so that we can see London or Paris or Rome or New York City. Can't wait. Those are all improvements that I anticipate the developers will provide in future updates. And finally, we come to the Sunrise Terrace, which, like the Sunrise Lobby and the Sunrise Meeting Room, are the same as the previous spaces, just with kicked up finishes like grass on the ground instead of stone and brick on the wall. Plus, over the handrail, you see Dubai. That being said, this is still a pre-beta application, which means it's alpha, which means it's really the developers, kind of first draft at this. And even though it is just in a pre-beta stage, you can still set up a terrace like this and show movies with your friends. You can right now today in pre-beta use the meeting spaces to have meetings. You can use the lobby to set up something so that you can invite your customers in to see your product. Everything is working now, and so it's only going to get better. I cannot wait to see what the developers do with this.
So there you go. Those are the spaces that you can build out. What do you think? Do you have the imagination to turn those spaces into something incredible? I think that you do. I know that I do. I'm going to build a spaceship, and I'm going to build a nightclub, and I'm going to be the MC at Club DJ Do. So, anyway, next time we'll take a look into the Infiniverse and we'll see what there is to see out there. We'll see the apartments that people are buying. We'll see businesses where corporations can set up shop in the multiverse. And we'll go and see a planetarium, and we'll go shoot some zombies, and we'll just see what else there is to see in here, okay? So, ciao for now, and I will see you in the multiverse. Bye!